The Colorado Avalanche have just received a major update about the fate of one of their key Stanley Cup run pieces from 2022, and that is the man Gabriel Landeskog. Some absolutely major news has just dropped about Gabriel Landeskog this morning on the 17th of March that is going to be a secret weapon for the Avalanche heading into the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs, along with a bit of a lesser known secret weapon that many people do not know about that is also going to be a sneaky addition heading down the stretch. How is everyone doing today? This is Colorado Avalanche Digest, your number one source for all of your Avs news. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing about all of the rapid amount of news that comes out about this organization. Now let's get right into it. This video dropped this morning and shows a amount of progress to Gabriel Landeskog that we have not seen in 3 years. Check it out. That's right. That was Gabriel Landeskog doing drills at practice, looking and skating the best that he has ever had in the last 3 seasons. He looks absolutely amazing out there. He looks fine. He looks like he hasn't missed a day. And that is so promising to see, especially as an Avs fan, because many people were starting to doubt if he could ever come back. And a lot of people were saying we haven't been seeing him skating. We haven't any news at all about him. And then a documentary starts to drop about his progress. And then he goes on Spitting Chicklets, the podcast, and starts talking about his recovery, something he hasn't done at any point during the last 3 seasons. So it's definitely looking like they're soft launching a return for Gabriel Landeskog in game 1 in round 1 of the playoffs, which will most likely be against the Dallas Stars. That series, more and more as time goes on, look like it's going to be absolutely war, with the Dallas Stars potentially getting the return of Miro Heiskanen and Tyler Seguin as well. It is going to be a race to who can get healthier quickly, because once each team is at full health, that series is going to get bogged down and it's going to be absolutely insane. But let's take a look at why Gabriel Landeskog is so important for the Colorado Avalanche. These are his stats throughout the last about 8 seasons or so. And you can see in the playoffs, he is an absolute monster. In the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs, he was tied. He had the second most goals on the entire team with 11 and 22 points. The fourth highest points on the entire team, only eclipsed by Makar, McKinnon, and Rantanen. So he is an absolutely insane piece to have. And his leadership in general is invaluable to the Colorado Avalanche team, because the Colorado Avalanche has not progressed throughout round 2 without Gabriel Landeskog. He is such a warrior. His spirit uplifts everyone around him. And that's why I truly believe he is the future GM of the Colorado Avalanche, and why he is a legacy player for this organization that is potentially going to just parachute in and start helping the Colorado Avalanche in their 2025 Cup run. You can see he's hit the 30-goal mark twice in his career and probably would have been hitting it these last 3 seasons too, unfortunately just hindered by injury. But getting right into it, that video you saw was brought to you by Jesse Montano and said, indeed, Landeskog is running through drills. Looks pretty good. And on that podcast that I mentioned that Gabriel Landeskog went on, which was Spitting Chicklets, he had this to say regarding his recovery. To me, that fire inside is still there. I started it. I want to keep it going. I've committed to it. I want to be able to see my kids on the glass in warm-up again. I'll continue working, and we'll see where it takes me. Now, if that's something that doesn't bring tears to your eyes, I don't know what will. But that has massive implications for the Colorado Avalanche roster, as already this roster is absolutely nails. There's not a single guy on this roster that you wouldn't want off the roster. Funny enough, the only one you would is probably Miles Wood, but he's not even on the roster, honestly. The guy on that roster that's been there most likely is Parker Kelly. And instead of Jimmy Vesey, who's also another good option, it's been Logan O'Connor. Now, right wing, the Avalanche are pretty strong. They probably have some of the best right wing depth in the entire league. Center depth is amazing. It's the best in the entire league. Left wing, after Jonathan Drouin, it gets a little rough. Now, Kiviranta's got 15 goals this year. He's having a career year. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But pencil in Gabe Landeskog instead on that left wing. That's just insane. And then you have to scratch Parker Kelly if Kiviranta plays on the fourth line. That's insane. And that's not even disregarding another secret weapon that the Avalanche have coming up. And that is the player Taylor Makar. Now, if that last name sounds familiar to you, which it should, that is the brother right here of Cale Makar. That's right, Cale Makar actually has a brother. Now, let's get right into his stats. Imagine everything that Cale Makar is, and then basically think that Taylor Makar is the exact opposite of that. If Cale Makar is this nimble, shifty, graceful skater, Taylor Makar is an aggressive, just barreling towards you on all wheels, just a raggedy, pots and pans sounding machine that just barrels towards you and checks you into the boards. He is a big boy at 6'4", 209 pounds. That's at least 4 inches on his brother Cale and at least 20 pounds of just pure muscle he also has on his brother. He is a good skater as well. He's not graceful. He doesn't have great edge work. He just barrels towards you. He is a really fast skater, and that's gels so perfectly with what the Avalanche bottom six is and the Avalanche system in general, where speed is their weapon. As you can see, he was drafted in the 7th round of the 2021 draft. So he was definitely just a courtesy pick to his brother Cale Makar. It was a nice thing that they did, but right now it's actually paying dividends. Getting into his stats, he has played for the last 4 seasons in the double NCA. Now, he tried to follow in his brother's footsteps at UMass, but honestly just wasn't getting his ice time that his brother had. He wasn't getting the good opportunity. He had one year where he scored 10 goals and it was looking like he would get a better role, but he was not. He was reduced back to a bottom 6 role. So he made the tough decision to hit the transfer portal and transfer to the University of Maine. And ever since he's done so, he has 16 goals and 28 points in 35 double NCAA games. Now, that's not going to blow you away. It's not point per game. He's not a future top 6 player, but what he is at minimum a good 4th line grinder that plays exactly how the Avs love to play. So this is an absolutely almost free addition that the Avalanche get to their bottom 6 because it was a 7th round pick. That is insane, and you take that every day of the week. Now, pencil in, instead of Yoel Kiviranta, you have Gabriel Landeskog. And instead of Parker Kelly or Miles Wood in that left wing spot, you have maybe Taylor Makar. Or if one of those guys gets injured and goes down, then guess what? Taylor Makar's coming in, and you're going to have 2 Makars on the roster. It is going to be a absolutely insane playoff run for the Colorado Avalanche coming up. And I, for one, am so excited to see how the rest of this season goes. The Avalanche have their 2 secret weapons coming in to use in that playoff series against Dallas and the rest of the playoff series beyond. It is going to be an absolutely insane next 3 months here, and you do not want to miss a minute of it. Remember to subscribe to the Avalanche Digest, which is your #1 source for all of your Avalanche news, and thank you for watching.